If the Bible is clear about anything, it is the exclusivity of God. Listen to Isaiah 45, verse 5. God speaking here says, I am the Lord, and there is no other. Besides me, there is no God. So what's going on in Psalm 82, our Psalm of the week? Listen to verse 1. God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. Well, the Most High, as he's called in verse 6, invites us to imagine him calling to order a council of lower magistrates whom he calls gods. Jesus refers to this psalm to say that people might be called gods in the sense that we are descended from the one true God, John 10, 34 through 36. But gods who judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked, as verse 2 says, will themselves fall under God's judgment. God's commands in verses 3 and 4 both explain his expectations and the reasons for his displeasure in Psalm 82. The wicked were exploiting a class of people least able to advocate for themselves. They're described in verse 3 as the weak and fatherless, or orphans, the afflicted and the destitute, and in verse 4, the needy, all of whom are easy targets for human scavengers. In a twisted world where money, power, and influence determines one's place on the social ladder, the godly, like Job, must look out for those clinging to the lowest rungs. And this is how God judges. Listen to Psalm 72, verse 13. He has pity on the weak and the needy. Jesus offered this sign that he was the promised Savior. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, the poor have good news preached to them. Luke 7, verse 22. He urged those who throw feasts to invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, Luke 14, verse 13. And this is, in fact, the gospel's invitation, that we, the needy, the crippled, the poor, the blind, would come to the feast that Jesus is throwing. We feast on him by faith. At the start of Psalm 82, Asaph pictures God as one of many councilmen, so to speak. At the end, he is clearly in a different class. Listen to verse 8. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you will inherit all the nations. We all, even the highest human judge, will die, as verse 7 says. We'll stand before God at the final judgment. But everyone who clings to the just judge, Jesus, and begins to judge like him can expect to be vindicated. Let's listen to Psalm 82, a psalm of Asaph. God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Selah. Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. They have neither knowledge nor understanding. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said, you are gods, sons of the Most High, all of you. Nevertheless, like men, you shall die and fall like any prince. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all the nations.